What is A.C.E. homeschool curriculum? And can you use it as a Catholic?
Now you say grandpa. You waving hi to grandpa.
Welcome back to Creekside Catholics. I'm so glad you're back. So today I am going to share with you something about A.C.E. homeschool curriculum. This is not a Catholic curriculum, but it is something we're using next year. And we are using it because my kids like it. And they get it done, and they have a sense of accomplishment when they finish the booklets. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what the A.C.E. curriculum is, and a look at my daughter's fourth grade packets. They're called PACEs for next year. Just a flip through and kind of an overview of how you plan out your year when you're using these. So stay tuned and we will get this going. Okay, so here we are. Here are all the subjects, minus Bible history, which I will get to at the end, of the A.C.E. PACEs. So A.C.E. stands for Accelerated Christian Education, and PACEs is just packets of accelerated Christian education. So as you can see, there are these little booklets that are, this one is 35 pages long. Let me show you first what I have here. So this is math. Math is yellow. I have English. It's red. Social studies is green. Science is blue. Word building or spelling is purple. And then creative writing, which is basically only 3rd grade through 8th grade. And in 7th and 8th grade, it's called basic literature. It's not called creative writing, is pink. So they're little booklets. The idea is that these should be completed within 3 weeks, each one of these. In the middle of each, and I'm afraid I can't show you because I already took them out, there is a test in the middle. You can see where the staples were. When you get these, there's a test in the middle that you pull out. So after they complete the whole booklet, they've gotten a 90% on the self-test, which is at the very end. Then you can give them the test. So here's a self-test. So this would be the first booklet of 4th grade, which is a lot of review, just like any other curriculum really. But the difference would be that the first page is going to have my goals. They're going to have a character trait that they're going to learn, a verse for this booklet that they will also learn, and then they also have like things that they'll learn. And then once they go over that and read it with you or read it to you, then you would initial. So here again, here's the verse, and it's the same throughout every single booklet. So they will get very used to the routine of learning the verse, which happens to be in the King James. If you don't want to have your child learn that, then that's totally fine. I mean, it's not like they're losing something really in a math book if they don't learn that verse. But it is kind of nice to have in their memory, I suppose. A lot of the times you'll see here, there's going to be like these comic strips, and they'll usually be exemplifying the character trait that is for this booklet in particular. The children do correct their own work with a score key. It's up to you. For second grade for my son next year, he will not be scoring himself. But my daughter in fourth grade, and actually right now she's doing a couple packets, and she is starting to score her own work. And let me tell you, she loves it. She likes catching her own mistakes. She would much rather catch her own mistakes and then go back and fix them than have me catch her mistakes. I don't know. It's a strange accountability and maybe not being so embarrassed. Not quite sure, but she really enjoys that. So this is just, I'm not going to go through it page by page, but there are some things where they kind of break it up, because a lot of these is kind of drill and kill here. There are a lot of problems on a page. So they do have some pages in here. There's another comic strip. But anyway, there are checkups throughout here. There are about 3 per packet. If they kind of bomb a checkup, then you are supposed to go through that checkup, that previous part of the booklet, and kind of see where they're having trouble before you go forward. And definitely you are not supposed to, if they fail the test on this packet, the test you had pulled out and gave to them, if they fail it, if they don't pass it with an 80 or above, you're supposed to go back through the whole packet again with them. So anyway, that's math, but they all pretty much work the same. It's the same setup for all of them. English. And really the pictures on the front have nothing to do with the inside. They just kind of recycle these pictures. Oh, and I forgot to mention here. Let me see here. You'll see it doesn't say 3rd grade or 4th grade or anything here. It just says a number. So the children won't necessarily know. Say you have a child who is behind in an area. So you have to give them, there is a diagnostic test on the A.C.E. Website. And it's called School of Tomorrow. That's the website. But there's a diagnostic test that you can register for and have your child do on the computer. And then they will send you an email. And also through the website, you can see where your child might have gaps. And so it will suggest which booklets that they should do. And also after that, where they should start. So say you have a child who isn't very good at math, is struggling, and when they should be in 3rd grade, but they're really like in 2nd grade, that's where their diagnostic test puts them, they won't know the difference. They're not going to be like, oh, I'm in 2nd grade, and feel bad about themselves. They won't know because there's nothing on here that says what grade it is. It's whatever level they should be at for where they're at. So I do like that. Now English has like a cursive built right into it, which is nice. You don't need another handwriting program. It's all right in here. And again, like I said before, it's the same in every book. We have, my goals, character trait, the verse, and then we have the comic strip down here that, just goes right along with the character trait. And then, your initials will be in the yellow. And this is just the first. This is looking up words in a dictionary and writing their definition. This is just the first book of the year. So they get into more of like parts of the speech. They actually, in this program, they do diagramming sentences, all that kind of thing. And same thing as before, we have our self-test at the end. They pass it, you give them the real test, etc., etc. Okay, so that's English. I'm going to save social studies for last because I have some things to say on that. Science is, I think their science is actually pretty good. It definitely has a biblical worldview, and there are experiments that are already in here. And if you go to, there's a Facebook group, I'll try to link it below, that has all kinds of helps So there is a document that has all the supplies you'll need for most of the grades. I think maybe some high school ones are missing all of them, but for all the subjects. So supplies needed for everything. So it's very neat. Anyway, so we have some vocabulary. Of course, you have your verse down here again. There's a character trait on that other page. We have an experiment here. Kind of, I know it's not really an experiment, but it's a project. We have like more new words and our goals and everything again. So it's all pretty much the same. The kids know what to expect every single time they do a packet. It's not different. This is word building, which they call it word building. I would call it spelling, but here we're going to, again, practice our cursive writing, our letters. Over here, we have our 3 groups of spelling words. So this is not actually 4th grade. This is 5th grade. My daughter, when she took the diagnostic test, she tested into 6th grade, but I felt like I didn't want to push her too much, so I brought her back to 5th. A.C.E, they actually recommended that she just start in 4th grade because they said, well, she'll miss some things and whatever. And I thought, no, she's going to be bored. If I give her too easy of work, she's going to be bored. Particularly if she's testing in the 6th, then what's the point of a diagnostic test, you know? So anyhow, so we have our 3 groups of words, and you'll notice that there are different colors. This is pink, green, and purple. And you'll see this is pink, so she's going to be learning the words in the first box. And then as we go in, you'll see the corners of the page. They reflect that. Then we've got green, and then purple will be at the end. And it's neat. They kind of throw in some like fun facts in here too, just to kind of break up the monotony. There's a fun fact down here. So anyway, then we have our self-test. Once they pass that, then you go on. Here is where you would actually take the booklet. You give them a piece of paper, you know, say the word, have them spell it, and then you give the packet back, and then they'd finish it up. Okay, so let me get these out of here. Okay, so create literature and creative writing. So actually these last 2 subjects are subjects that I would say you need to proceed with caution. Literature and creative writing is exactly that. They have books, they read the books, they answer questions about the books, they do their own writing. There is a set of books that they require for this course and for all the creative writing and literature courses. So, put those over here. The reason I say proceed with caution is because this is a very Protestant curriculum. So the choices to read are very Protestant. They're very much about proclaiming the gospel, which I have nothing to complain about there, and missionary work, which is good too. However, you're not going to read about any Catholic missionaries. Let's just put it that way. So their choices for literature. Here's Choice Stories for Children. This is actually an old book reprinted. And they're just good moral stories, which I don't have a problem with this. This one's required as well. The Little Green Frog. And this is about a little girl, and I believe her parents are missionaries. So it has to do with, I think China. I haven't read it, so I'm not quite sure. Thankfully, we have just a regular book, Charlotte's Web, which we already had. One of their own books, The Red Rag Riddle. But it's kind of hokey, the outside, but, you know. And then we have this book, Saved at Sea, which I don't know if it's... I just proceed with caution on all of these. I will tell you that in 7th and 8th grade, I will not be using their basic literature program because of the book choices. It's just, one, this course is more of an elective. I didn't realize that. So you don't even have to get this. Like, if you don't even want to deal with all these books and stuff, just get books that you want your kids to read and have them do book reports or something and journal about them. None of this is absolutely necessary. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and I feel like this is the one that's going to cause the most problems for people, for us Catholics anyway, is social studies. So unfortunately, social studies, history, is always written from somebody's point of view. And instead of it just being history, it's, it's like secular humanism, it is Protestant, it is Catholic. There's always a view of history. So it's really hard to get something impartial, and you're not going to get any impartiality from this program. So this one is fine. I have made an Excel spreadsheet that I can go over if you want to see that video of which ones to avoid. This one is fine. Let me go through it real quick with you. So let's see here. Goodness. It starts the exact same way as the others. Goals, character trait, verse, comic strip. We've got our new vocabulary words. We're going to read about the Earth's rotation. That kind of stuff. We have a problem, though, when we get to things that have to do with history. They do sprinkle in a lot of missionaries in their program. The one I think my daughter just did was full of, was it that one? No, I'm sorry. It is this year, 4th grade. There are missionaries kind of sprinkled throughout, which is fine. There's only one, and it is 1039. So Social Studies 1039 that you're going to have to go through and cross out some things. Particularly, it's about Wycliffe, who was a priest who would be considered by Catholics as a heretic priest. He's kind of like a precursor to Martin Luther. And he ended up breaking from the church, and he had these followers called Lollards. And so this program seems to think like it's a great thing, and we're just not covering him at all. And I'm not testing my child on those questions or anything. Like, I'm putting a line through it, and we're just not doing it. So there are a couple more booklets in the future. I think it's 6th grade, where there's 2 at the end that we're just going to not do completely, and we're just going to, read some history novels or something. We'll just do something else. Anyway, so I would say that you can use A.C.E. Social Studies up until and through 9th grade, paying attention to some things that I can show you in another video if you're interested. After that, 10th grade on, don't use it, because it's pretty anti-Catholic, I would say. That's the impression I get from it. So that is that. Let me see here. Obviously, I'm not going to use their Bible curriculum. So I'm just going to use Seaton's for my son for 2nd grade. We're just going to read through Bible stories next year, and then go through their Baltimore catechisms. And this is 4th grade. This is from Seaton. It wasn't very expensive. You can't write in this book, which is a bummer, but I mean, I guess it depends on what you want to do. If you want to kind of keep the theme of writing in your booklet, this would be a bummer. But if you want to keep it for your next child, it's not a bummer. So it's all how you view it. Then I just want to show you real quick what a score key is like. So this is for 4th grade. This is my daughter's English 4th grade. And you'll see it actually has 3 booklets in it. The score keys do not come with the paces. You have to buy them separate. So just keep that in mind. My son's, I didn't buy all the score keys because it's 2nd grade. And if I can't figure it out, then there's a problem. And he's not checking his work anyway. But hers, I wanted to make it a little easier. So anyway, they would just like grab their score key. I don't know if you can even see through here. And check and see if they did it correctly. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that, and let me know, I guess, if you have any questions. So what do you think? Do you think you'll use A.C.E next year? We are, that's all I can say. I'll post videos as we go along and kind of give you a heads up on where we need to make changes, which ones we didn't use at all because we encountered some issues. Like I said, I already have an Excel spreadsheet based on the scope and sequence, and looking at it's on christianbook.com. They have like little previews of the books, so I kind of get a flavor of what it's going to be like. Also, I was thinking way ahead and looking at 12th grade civics. I knew U.S. history we couldn't use, but I thought, well, maybe I can use their government. And so the first one I thought would probably be the one I'd have problems with, because it has to do with like early government and church government and stuff like that. And I was right. It would be too problematic. It's so obviously anti-Catholic that I just couldn't. I'll probably sell it. Anyway, if you are interested in, watching any more of these videos, if you think anybody else would be interested in using something like this, it is very portable and simple to implement. I mean, it requires no planning really on your part, aside from looking and seeing how many pages are in one of the paces. I don't know if I said this, but there are 12 paces in all. So the idea is to use one packet every 3 weeks. So you would take one of those packets and divide it by, if you're having a 5-day school week, you would divide it by 14, because the 15th day would be the test. And that will help you determine how many pages per pace they should do a day. I'll get on here and I'll show you about goal cards and goal setting, because I really encourage the students to be independent, which is why we're doing this. So they set their own goals. Like, okay, I have to get this many pages done this week, and how do I do that? So I have all kinds of things to show you. So please like and subscribe, share it with people you think would be interested, and God bless you and your family, and take care and have a great summer. Bye.